and welcome to the Movie Scoops podcast. I'm your host, Sean, and we finally have visuals. Yes, I finally got a camera, and I've got off my lazy bottom, and I've come back for another episode. It's been months, people. Lots of news, lots of movies that have come out, lots of cancellations, lots of delays. This will be a special episode as we're going to go through everything, not just of the last week. So if you have heard this news, or this might be coming to you, going to be like, wow, I didn't realize that happened. Good for you. This is what this podcast is for. And we got visuals finally. So that's really exciting. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. This is going to go on YouTube, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the huge. We've got a nice setup. We've got my co-host, the Infinity Gauntlet. Not going to put it on because that's too much power for me. I don't know what to do with it. Let's just get straight into the news. I've got my phone here full of all of the news, and we're just going to get straight into it. I'm going to talk about some movies and TV shows that I've watched during this long break. If you're wondering where I've been and why I haven't been doing podcasts, I was just gotten really busy. I had recorded a few podcasts, and I just wasn't really happy with how it turned out, and I bought this camera a few weeks ago, and I was like, we need to bring this back. We need to bring back the podcast. We need to be able to do this, and I'm just excited to be able to do this now with visuals and in probably a really awesome room right now. This is really sick, and there's just lots of news. So I'm going to give you a rundown of what we're going to do, what I'm going to talk about, without really spoiling much. Obviously, I want you to listen to the podcast. So we're going to go through the news of DC fandome. We're going to go through the HBO Max, Snyder Cut, Investors Day. That's probably the biggest news of the year, basically, the Investors Day. Movies and TV show wise, we're going to be talking about Borat, The Boys. The Boys is really good. Umbrella Academy. That was also another very good TV show of 2020. Another TV show that I've watched that I hadn't talked about on the podcast is Euphoria. So we're going to talk about that and more movies that probably come to my mind later, and we'll get back into it. All right. Let's start off with my first piece of news. This is going to be in no particular order. I'll try and keep it in order, but if I come back and I've contradicted myself, like if I've gone, this is confirmed for this day, and then like a few months later it's gone, it's confirmed for another day, got delayed. Sorry, that's just how I have my news set up. I don't really want to go back and just be like, this contradicts that. It's just annoying. It's just an annoying thing to do. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, Sony taps Olivia Wilde to direct the Spider-Woman movie. Now, this is a big deal for women directors in general, because the only real women director for a superhero movie that I know of is Patty Jenkins, because she did the 2 Wonder Woman movies, and she did Thor 2. Gotta keep that in mind. And women directors have come up in a big way. They are amazing. Some of the stuff that they have created, like Wonder Woman, is just such an amazing movie that Patty Jenkins, as an example, has made, and it's really quite a experience to sit and watch the movie, and like it feels like an amazing movie, like not discrediting. I can't speak today. Discrediting, like allowing women to be able to make movies, write movies in cinema nowadays really has that point of whatever men can do, women can do as well. And I think that's just an awesome thing that is happening. And Olivia Wilde, she directed the movie Booksmart. Booksmart is a very funny comedy, has a lot of heart and a lot of good stuff in it. and I can't wait for her to direct Spider-Woman. They haven't cast or officially announced this movie. This is all just rumor based, but I would think that it's pretty hard. It's pretty in stone right now that she's gonna direct this movie. Maybe she'll star in it, and it will be really good. I can't wait to see that, and we're gonna move on. Ben Affleck, big boy Ben, Batman. He has confirmed that he's gonna come back to the role of Batman in the Flash movie. Now, the Flash movie for many months now has been up in the air. It's been very much up in the air, for the fact of the matter is that Ezra Miller has been a naughty boy, and he assaulted a woman on video. That was very controversial and got him into a lot of trouble with Warner Brothers and whatnot. And it was very much up in the air, like, is this movie going to happen? Is Ezra Miller going to be fired? Because that's something that is really big in the community, especially for, like, women in society, and especially with the Black Lives Matter movement. The woman wasn't black, but it's still such a movement where violence and assault is such a big deal in our society that it was really up in the air for a very long time if this movie was happening. It is happening, and a bright side to it is that Ben Affleck has confirmed he is coming back into the role. On the other podcast, I have talked about how this movie might be a Flashpoint movie, and I'm quickly going to explain what the Flashpoint is. Flashpoint is a comic book where the Flash goes back in time and he saves his mother from being murdered. So pretty much he changed the future. He's gone back in time and changed the future. So your future becomes your past becomes your future. Pretty much Avengers Endgame. But instead of going back and getting the stones, snapping, bringing everyone back, and going back and changing time, he went back in time, saved his mother, and then went back into the... sorry, it is raining outside, so if you hear rain, I'm sorry. What do I tell you, Australia, am I right? Went back in time, and the future was completely different. He didn't have any powers because obviously he didn't become he wasn't an experiment, because he wasn't trying to figure out how to exonerate his father for the murder of his mother. And a lot of repercussions of that happened, such as instead of Thomas and Martha Wayne being murdered in that significant origin of Batman, Bruce Wayne was murdered and Martha Wayne became the Joker. Superman, instead of landing in Smallville, landed in the middle of Metropolis and got taken to Area 51, where he never saw the sun. And if you know anything about Superman, is his power comes from our sun. When he's on Krypton, they don't have a yellow sun, they have a red sun. And so that sort of dampens his powers, and he can't do anything. That's why whenever you see Krypton in the movies or in the comic books, they don't have any powers. They're not flying around, they're not lasering, they're not freezing people, they're not punching through buildings, they are just humans, basically. And then when they're exposed to the sunlight, the yellow sun, they gain all these powers and they gain all these abilities. And so that's what happened to Superman. Cyborg works for the president. Harley Quinn is known as Yo-Yo. That's funny. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war, and World War III, and they destroy all of Europe. Shazam's 5 kids. Lex Luthor and Deathstroke are actually good. Batman is Thomas Wayne, and Thomas Wayne uses guns and kills people instead of beating them up like Batman does. So, yeah, and that's what Flashpoint is. So that has been a rumor that movie is going to be a Flashpoint movie where the Flash goes back in time and changes something, or it goes into another Earth, because Michael Keaton has been confirmed to be in this movie. Michael Keaton, Batman from 1989, is going to be in this movie. That's crazy. That's a crazy, crazy, crazy thing to have in the movie. Not only bringing back Ben Affleck, but bringing back he wasn't the first Batman. He wasn't Adam West. He wasn't the other guy that I can't think of from the top of my head. But the Batman that kind of brought in the darker tone of movies that we have nowadays. Well, because if it wasn't for Michael Keaton, it wasn't for Tim Burton, we wouldn't have The Dark Knight. We wouldn't have Man of Steel. We wouldn't have the Snyder Cut. We wouldn't have Wonder Woman. Because we had Superman 1 and 2, and then we had Superman 3, which was terrible. Then they had Superman 4, which was even worse. The Batman 1989 really brought back into the picture that, hey, superhero movies can make money and they can actually be good. So it's going to be really exciting for Michael Keaton to get back in the role. If you didn't know about Batman Forever, because it kind of went Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. And they recast it twice from Michael Keaton to Val Kilmer to George Clooney. And the reason that they did that was because Warner Brothers were to Tim Burton, they were trying to, because Tim Burton had pretty much creative control. He, as you can probably tell by the movies, it's very a Tim Burton sort of movie franchise. By looks, characters, and how they interact with each other. It's really a Tim Burton movie, and Warner Brothers are like, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? Why don't you add, a bit more neon into this? Why does it have to be, a really dark city? Add a bit of color. And Tim Burton's like, no, that wouldn't work in the world that we've created. We've created a world that's really dark, really gritty, and, really emo based, and you can't bring in a neon into that because that would just completely ruin the character of the city, because the city is pretty much a character. And it got to the point where Tim Burton was like, do you guys even actually want me to be in this movie? And they're like, no, we do. And they're like, no, do you actually genuinely want me? And he goes, oh, we're not sure. And he's like, okay. And then Michael Keaton turned down a pretty big paycheck because he didn't want to be in a movie like Batman Forever. Fair enough to him. I mean, that's apart from Jim Carrey as the Riddler, it's a pretty crappy movie, I'll be honest. Pretty crappy movie. There's not really much saving it. It's no Batman and Robin. That's the thing. I can sit here and be like, it's the worst Batman movie ever. It's terrible. Don't ever watch it. You'll be in pain. But the thing is that Batman and Robin is worse. It's a worse movie on all accounts. Dialogue's stupid. CGI is stupid. The plan is stupid. At least with Batman Forever, Riddler's plan kind of made sense in a stupid kind of way. It kind of went from being, in the first two movies, really dark and gritty to really Adam West Batman feeling, and I didn't like that. But it will be awesome to see him come back. Andy Muschietti and his wife Barbara, if you don't know who they are the directors of this movie, and they directed the 2 It films. So, I'm really keen to see what they do. Let's move on. We are finally going to get to DC Fandome. DC Fandome, you probably already know because it was all over the place when it came out, but DC Fandome was instead of having Comic-Con, they said, pretty much Disney and Disney, Marvel, and DC were and Warner Brothers were oh, we don't want to do Comic-Con because that's where they make a lot of money when they do Comic-Con. They go to Comic-Con, they make a lot of money because people want to see these trailers. People want to see what they're going to announce, what they're going to show, the panels and whatnot, because there's lots of big announcements. Last year at Comic-Con when they announced all of the Marvel TV series and all of the new Marvel TV shows, and because I said that Marvel TV series, Marvel movies, there wasn't really any place that Marvel was going after Avengers Endgame. Apart from Spider-Man Far From Home, there was nothing. They didn't have anything else planned apart from Spider-Man. There were rumors. They were like, they're going to make a Black Widow movie. And then when Endgame came out, they're like, oh, crap, they can't do a Black Widow movie because they just killed her. They just killed off the character that it was a big mess. It was a big mess. And, well, I mean, it was not a big mess. It was a good mess. But, yeah, those companies make a lot of money from Comic-Con for the fact that fans want to come see them and see what they're going to be releasing to the public. And this year, they were like, we're going to do Comic-Con live on Zoom, and we're going to announce everything over Zoom, and that's how we're going to do it. And Marvel was like, yeah, nah, we'll do it ourselves if we're going to do that. We'll be able to make more money that way. And DC was like, yeah, we'll do that as well. We're going to do our own thing, and we're going to make money that way. And they did have a Comic-Con this year, and it wasn't really very good. The only really thing that they had on there was, I think it was like a Star Wars thing. I can't remember. I know they did a New Mutants trailer. That's another thing we're going to talk about, New Mutants, later on. So keep in tune for that. Pepsi Max, not sponsored. Get yourself Pepsi Max. It's really good. But let's get into it. So one of the big things that came out of DC fandom was The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson. And they showed a trailer. It was really, really good. I actually have that meme where it's Batman slapping Robin. Where he just slaps him across the face when Robin says something stupid, and it says like, let me find it. It says, I think Robert Pattinson will be the worst bat, and Batman cuts him off, and it's Robert Pattinson Batman, slaps him in the face and says, I am vengeance, because that's what Robert Pattinson's Batman says at the end of the trailer after he beats the living hell out of this guy. Like, literally, like, he punches him like 5 times in the face and in the body, and then he goes down. You're like, okay, he's knocked out, he's not going to get up. Then Batman gets down and fully, like, punches him 10, like, probably not 10 more times, like 6 more times in the head. Like, you've given him you're giving him brain damage. Then he just sits there and goes, I'm vengeance. And you're like, what the heck? That's crazy. In the trailer, we saw Colin Firth as the Penguin. First look at him. It showed the main villain of the movie, who was rumored to be the Riddler. I'm really excited for that. There have been lots of iterations of the Riddler in comic books and movies. Oh, not movies. Movies, animated movies, and games, where the Riddler was not just someone who just makes riddles and makes jokes, and he's actually a threat. Like, I recently played the Batman Telltale games, and Riddler's only in 1 episode, but he's actually seen as a threat. Like, he was the first vigilante in Gotham before Batman, and he would go around and he would kill people for pretty much Batman but killing. And he came back with a vengeance, and he would have all these traps that would legitimately kill people. He was basically Jigsaw, but with riddles. I really enjoyed that sort of version of the character. I'm not sure if this movie came out this year. Batman Hush, I think they came out this year. Batman Hush is a movie based on the Hush comic, but the movie decided to change it up a little bit and decided to make the main villain not Thomas Elliot. I think his name is Thomas Elliot. Not make it Thomas Elliot, but make it the Riddler, which is a bold decision, especially after making the whole movie Hush and everything in it. But it's neither here nor there. Sorry, my computer has just turned off. Give me a slippery second. Don't want anything to happen to the audio or anything if the computer turns off. So we're gonna keep going. We saw Catwoman in it. Not a really early iteration of Catwoman. The Batmobile looks sick. It's like a Mustang. Really, really, like very, very much a I think 1960s Batman comic book. Like that sort of feeling of the car. Like it's not anything like crazy. It doesn't even look like a bat. Doesn't even look like a little convertible. It looks like a beast. Like it looks like something that will get you here to there in like 20 seconds. Like it's a crazy beast. They announced two games that they're making. Very, very weird ways that they announced these games because they're made by Warner Brothers Montreal and Rocksteady. So Rocksteady created Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, while Montreal created Arkham Origins. They are connected into a timeline together, even though they're created by two companies. But pretty much they announced Batman Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad game. And the general thing when you think about it is like, oh, Batman Gotham Knight is clearly going to be a sequel to the Arkham series because that works in that continuity. You'd be wrong if you said that. It turns out it's a standalone game. What probably won't be a standalone. They'll probably make a sequel, knowing Warner Brothers. They want that cash money, but they want that cash money. But the Suicide Squad game is actually going to be a sequel to that. Which is exciting because the trailer had Harley Quinn, King Shark, Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang. One thing that I saw that no one actually noticed that when I went online and searched it up was that they've actually got a new Deadshot. Because Deadshot in Arkham Origins and Arkham City was a white man with an eye patch. And in this game, he's going to be black. Nothing wrong with the recast, obviously. Nothing wrong with that sort of thing. But that sort of thing, when I saw it, made me think that it wasn't connected to the Arkham games and whatnot, which it is, apparently. So, yeah, I'm going to give that to them in the gauntlet. So, it was kind of like I just sat there and I was like, okay, fair enough. But we saw Superman kill a man. Like, the rumor is, well, it's not really a rumor. It's kind of like my theory behind it. Is that it's Starro. Starro is a villain in the Justice League comics. It's like this big starfish, and he has hundreds of children, and they go and they suck on your face, pretty much like the alien face suckers from the Alien franchise. They go on, they stick on your face, and he mind controls you, and you're pretty much stuffed. And I think that's what the game's going to be about. It's going to be about the Suicide Squad going to go kill the Justice League that are infected by Starro. That'll be fun, killing off Superman and whatnot. If they actually allow you to kill them, that would be fun. Like God of War, but Justice League. That's what I was going for, Justice League. But Gotham Knights will be that Batman is dead. Chances are he's probably not dead. He's probably just been captured. But you pretty much are playing four characters. You're playing Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood. Exciting. Can't wait. Moving on. Another thing that they announced at DC Fandome that I am excited for is the Snyder Cut. Like, the Snyder Cut got announced months ago, but they actually brought in the trailer. They showed the trailer and they put on the Hallelujah song. Hallelujah. I cannot sing. I'm sorry for putting you guys through that. But it's just so good. Like, we saw so much unseen footage throughout that entire thing that it got me so excited. Like, we got to see the first look at Darkseid. Very comic book accurate. Looks awesome. We saw Steppenwolf. We saw Superman finally in his black suit. I'm so keen. More news on the Snyder Cut later, but we're going to keep moving on. The Walking Dead will end after 11 seasons. I'm just going to turn on the aircon here because it's a bit hot. That's the thing about living in Australia is that in winter it's cool, it's not cold. But in summer it's outrageously hot. So I'm going to have to turn on the aircon because I'm sweating over here, and I don't want to faint on y'all. But what I like to do when I watch TV series is that I'll probably sit and I'll watch through an entire TV series in one go. Like, not really one go. Like, I'm not suffering myself for 1 hour episodes for 10 seasons. Like, it's nothing like that. But it's more like that's the only show that I'll watch until I finish it. Like, recently I watched the entire series of New Girl. If you haven't watched New Girl, definitely do not. I wouldn't suggest it. It's not a very, very good show. Like, it has funny moments, has a good cast in it, apart from Zooey Deschanel. But the only reason why I didn't like that show was because it was because of Zooey Deschanel. Honestly, because her character has no arc. Her character has no change. There's no growing up in that TV show because nothing ever changes. She stays the same the entirety of the show, and there's no real change in her character, and I hated it because when you watch a TV show, you watch someone change from the first episode to the last episode. Like, look at a show like Breaking Bad. Walter White went from a high school chemistry teacher to a well-known drug dealer named Heisenberg that was able to evade police, escape with millions of dollars, to then come back and put his differences aside to save his friend. Like, that's an arc. That's starting from here, a chemistry teacher who has lung cancer, to up here where he's feared by everyone, to come back down here. Zooey Deschanel started off like this. An arrogant, quirky person. That's all I can explain from her character. It just goes with maybe like little bumps on the way. Like, it doesn't change. Like, she'll sometimes just be like, "Oh, I'm dating this person. I'm gonna break up. I'm gonna cheat on them, so I'm gonna go back down here." It just changes the whole way through, and I don't like it. And I tried watching The Walking Dead. Honestly, I tried. I did like it for the most part. It just got to the point where it got boring. I don't know. I know. Let me know what you think. By the way, check me out on my Instagram, the Movie Scoops Podcast, YouTube, where this will be on. Check that out. That'll be awesome. Give me a like. Give it a thumbs up. I'm not gonna be one of those YouTubers like, turn on the bell so I can listen to all my content, because probably chances are it'll probably be a weekly thing if I get back to this, which I probably will now that I have a camera and I have the motivation to come back. But The Walking Dead, it was really interesting to begin with, but it kind of seemed like a really slow-paced show. I don't know about what you guys thought, but it really felt really slow. Like, I'd sit there and I'd watch it, and then they'll move like it was really, really slow. Like, they'll go from here, they'll go to the farm, and then they'll stay at the farm for 10 episodes. One thing really big happens, then nothing else happens. Then they go to the prison, and the prison's fine, and one person dies, and then something other big happens, then just slows down. Like, it didn't seem like a show that would just leave you on the edge of your seat every single episode. It kind of seemed like you could watch the first episode and the season finale and you wouldn't miss anything. I am kind of glad that the show is ending, but they are making a spin-off for Daryl and Carol. The only problem with that is that you kind of spoiled your own ending there. Like, if you're going to have like your mid-season finale or your second last episode be something like where you think everyone's dead, including Daryl and Carol. You've kind of gone, these two main characters will be fine. They're having their own spin-off show, so they're not actually going to die. They're going to still be alive, because you can't do a prequel because Daryl and Carol had completely different lives. Carol was with an abusive husband and had a kid. Did she have 2 kids? I think she had one. She had one, but I think she only had one. And Daryl was a racist with his brother. He has a real arc. I like Daryl. I love the actor. I love those 2 characters. I think they will be great in the spin-off. I just think that the show definitely needs to be ended, and the spin-off show shouldn't have been announced until after the series. Anyway, let's move on. Jared Leto will be starring in Tron 3. Now, there have been 2 Trons. There have been Tron in the 1980s, Tron Legacy, and then now there's going to be 3rd Tron. Tron, the first Tron, was really groundbreaking with its CGI, because it was the first movie that really brought in like the whole concept of CGI, and it kind of plagued all the cinema for a very long time until visual effects became like really popular, like better. Sorry, not popular, because it was always popular. Because when you look at movies like let's go with Star Wars. So let's go with the prequel trilogy. The prequel trilogy was really plagued by visual effects, because the visual effects in that whole movie series isn't the best. You'll sit there and you'll watch it and you'll be like, yuck, like what is wrong with this movie? And then you watch the original trilogy and you're like, oh, this looks a bit better, I kind of like it a little bit better, it looks a bit more realistic. But that's because they use practical effects rather than CGI or visual effects. So when George Lucas made that prequel trilogy, he was like, let's use visual effects for everything. Let's film everything in a green room or a blue room, and then we'll CGI everything. That's what we'll do. And many people hated that. They hated the idea of that. And it all really started from Tron, so now the Tron 2. I like Tron 2. I thought Tron 2 was really good. I thought it was a good close on the series. I thought it was good closed book. But they're making a 3rd one. Jared Leto, he's alright. He was great in movies like the Dallas Buyers Club. I did like his Joker. I thought his Joker was really interesting and really good, and I would love to... He is coming back for the Snyder Cut. I'd really love to see what he does with the character with a better script. Yeah. Keen for the movie. Let's move on. Falcon and the Winter Soldier delayed until 2021. We'll get back to this one, a little bit more news about this later. But, yeah. Because the way that the TV shows were going to come out was Falcon and Winter Soldier be first, then WandaVision, and then Loki. That was the series that they'd do. However, due to COVID and filming in Europe, it got really hard to film all of Falcon and the Winter Soldier because of lockdowns, and obviously because of the virus. And so I got to the point where they had to stop production, restart production, stop production, restart production. And by the time WandaVision was in post-production, Falcon and the Winter Soldier wasn't even halfway done. Like, WandaVision was already in post-production. I don't know if you understand post-production. Post-production is basically where they... my mic's going a bit crazy here because I'm trying to sit up. Post-production is what the idea is called, where they go in and they edit the whole thing. Like, they finish filming, they're going to start editing. They start editing, and then they're going to put in the visual effects. Like, that's the last thing you do. And when that section's meant to come out here, and the section that's meant to go in front of it isn't even at that point, it's over here. Like, you can't do anything. Like, you can't actually do that. And for people listening to the audio version, I've just pretty much threw my hands everywhere. Let's move on. Supergirl is going to end after 6 seasons. Only thing I have to say about that is good riddance. I didn't like Supergirl and Batwoman. They were my least favorite shows on the CW. I loved Arrow, loved The Flash. DC Legends of Tomorrow is my jam. Like, you can go back to listen to one of my older episodes. I went on like a 20 or 30 minute rant on CW shows and how terrible some of them are. But I didn't like Supergirl because Supergirl was set up in a world where Superman already existed. Like, it wasn't like if it was connected to Man of Steel, like if Man of Steel was in that universe and it was like, we're making a TV show and it's gonna be Supergirl and it's gonna be based in the same universe as Man of Steel, you're gonna be like, oh wow, that's so cool. You know, everything was just kind of like lifted off the ground. I just didn't like that. I didn't like the series. I do like the person who they got to play Lex Luthor from 2.5 Men. I forgot his name, but he's from 2.5 Men. He was really good. I really liked his portrayal of the character, because he seemed like the only, apart from the first Lex Luthor, like he was really snarky. He was very arrogant. Like, he was arrogant but snarky, and he would just be like, I'm better than you, and you know it. Like, I'm better than you, and you know it. Like, he was that kind of character. It was really good. Let's move on. James Gunn and John Cena, Cena, coming back to make a Peacemaker TV series. Now, Peacemaker, that's another thing I forgot to announce from DC Fandome. They made another Suicide Squad movie directed by James Gunn, starring Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena, Pete Davidson, Nathan Fillion. Oh, there were a few. That's another movie that they said that the villain might be Starro. The actor who plays Rick Flag's coming back to play Rick Flag. And it's very comic book accurate costumes, like really, really good. Looks really, really awesome. I'm really keen for that. But they're making a Peacemaker TV series for HBO Max. Again. Now, but the thing is about the Suicide Squad is that no one is safe. Like when you watch the first Suicide Squad movie that they made, it was kind of obvious who was gonna die and who wasn't gonna die. But in this one, like he literally says like no one is safe. Like no one is actually safe in the Suicide Squad. Like someone can die at any moment, and I feel like John Cena's character will probably he's either going to die or he's going to survive, and this series is going to be based after that. But if he does die, it's going to be a prequel. So I'm really keen to see that. Really keen what they do with it. Let's move on. The Snyder Cut. More Snyder Cut news. Don't mind if I do. Snyder Cut news is that they're doing more reshoots, which does on paper stream a lot of issues. Oh my gosh, the reason why the first Justice League movie was so terrible was because they reshot everything. It was awful. But Zack Snyder has gone, no, don't worry. Wait, they're coming back to reshoot things that I didn't get to finish because I was fired. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. I'm really keen for that because they've announced so many people who's going to come back for that. So like Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, I forgot who's his name. Not Idris Elba, Ezra Miller, and Ray Fisher, Jared Leto. All those people are coming back to film those scenes, which should be awesome. I'm really keen to see how that movie turns out. But let's move on. The Boys. Oh, The Boys. The Boys, if you haven't seen it, is a TV show on Amazon Plus? So this is like Amazon Prime. That's what it's called. Amazon Prime. I completely forgot what it was called. Because it's Disney Plus and HBO Max and la-di-da-di-da. But, yeah. The Boys Season 2 came out, and the whole series, it started off like there's 3 episodes, then they went episode. If you haven't seen The Boys, definitely check it out. It's awesome. It's, my computer has turned off again. Sorry about that. But The Boys is a TV show about pretty much superheroes in our society if they were like irresponsible. Like they are famous. They are famous people. They're in movies, they're in TV shows, but they're psychos. They're psychos. Like the guy who plays Superman is an absolute psychomaniac. Like he murders people for anything. He has an obsession with milk for some reason, and he's an absolute maniac. The person who plays Wonder Woman is a bisexual woman who can't defend her. Like, she can defend herself, but she can't defend herself against confrontation from anyone, and it's awful. There's a guy who's like Aquaman, but he's a sexual predator. The guy who's based off the Flash, he is addicted to drugs, and it's pretty much just all these characters like meshing together about their lives. But the show, like, they're called the Seven. They're a part of a group that's like the Justice League, but they're called the Seven. But what the boys are this group of people led by Billy Butcher, where they are trying to take down the Seven. They're humans trying to take down the Seven because of circumstances. The first season was really good. I really enjoyed the first season. I thought it was lots of fun. Lots of really awesome things, awesome ideas that they brought in, and I was really keen for season 2. Season 2 blew me away. It blew me away how much it pulled me in and brought me into that dark comedy and feel and that horror feel to it too. Like, I had a real horror feel to it when you're watching it and you're like, oh my gosh, like, these people are meant to be like heroes to our society, but they go around and they kill people for no reason. Like, there was a point where Homelander, who is the Superman, went to like a terrorist country and found a terrorist and laser-eyed him, killed him, but it reflected, like, went through him and reflected and killed another person, and he just didn't care, and it was caught on camera, and he was like, I don't care. Pepsi Max. Just gonna finish that off and throw it over here. Woohoo! Sorry for that. Yeah, really, really good TV show. Definitely check it out. It's awesome. Lots of fun. But another bit of news about that TV show is they're going to have a spin-off. So they had a sort of like their own X-Men, and it's like a high school. So there was an X-Men thing where it's a high school, and pretty much like the Charles Xavier of it is a pedophile. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to do that. I think it's called the Vought College, something like that. Vought College, which Vought is the company that owns all the superheroes, like not in real life, but in the TV show. And I'm really keen to see how they do that. Let's move on. YouTube star Arif Zahi. Sorry if I butchered that name. He will be the new voice of Cleveland Brown in Family Guy. So pretty much when the Black Lives Matter movement was at an all-time high, a whole bunch of voice actors who were voice acting like black characters, like the guy who did the voice for Cleveland Brown and Kristen Bell and Jenny Slate, I think that's what her name is, from Big Mouth. We're all like, we're going to step out from this role because a black person should play a black person on screen or in voice. I think that that's a good idea for future. Especially for a show like Family Guy that has been going on for 2 decades. 2 decades. Like, it's a crazy, crazy long show. recasting a character like that, because that actor didn't just play Cleveland, he played a whole bunch of different characters, much like Seth MacFarlane plays a whole bunch of different characters. And he wasn't fired, he stepped down from the role, but leaving a role like that just because of that didn't seem right to me. Like, I feel like your character is your character. Like, if you produce that character, it's you. But I'm definitely keen to see what this guy does with the role. I'm not gonna hate on him just because he's taken over this role, but I think that he will do a good job. I think he will do an amazing job. I don't see the point in that other guy leaving his role, like leaving the entire show. Like he wasn't just leaving that role; he left the entire show for that reason alone. So yeah, that kind of sucks, but about for him, but for this other guy, awesome. So keen to see how he does. He got the role because he does amazing impressions of the character. So yeah, definitely keen to see that. Let's move on. Aldous Hodge in talks to play Hawkman in Black Adam. That's another thing I got announced at DC Fandom. I keep forgetting. Black Adam, starring The Rock. It will be based in the early, like before the Justice League and everything. Before all that, Black Adam. They cast Noah Centineo as Adam Smasher. This guy has actually been confirmed to play Hawkman. Martian Manhunter's going to be in it. It's going to be awesome. I'm really keen for that. Definitely keen to see what happens. Lion King 2 in the works. We'll come back to this a bit later with the Investor Day thing. But pretty much this movie has been created as a prequel. So it's going to be... I think that's awesome because the animated movies, they haven't done a prequel. They've done Lion King 1.5 and then they've done Lion King 2. So definitely keen for that. Let's move on. Borat 2. We finally get to Borat. Borat lands on Amazon. Borat 1 is a funny movie. If you don't see what's in front of you, there's water. I'm gonna grab one. I'm gonna grab a bit of water. It's just a bit up so you can hear that. That's high quality content right there. Borat 1 is about a man from a foreign country, Kazakhstan, and they want to learn the American way. They want to learn how to be like an American citizen, how to live like an American. So they send their, I think he was number two reporter or number one reporter in all of Kazakhstan. They send him to go to America and learn their ways. And he goes there and he does a whole heap of stupid stuff. Like, he goes and offends so many people. Like, it's a funny movie. Like, it all correlates into him going and trying to kidnap Pamela Anderson. Because he watched Baywatch on at a hotel and fell in love with her. Yeah, so pretty much what had happened in that movie was that he in this new movie was that it starts off with him saying after that movie came out, he was arrested in his home country and sent to prison for life. And they release him and they like put all injections into him. Oh, spoilers by the way. Oh wait, let me before so stay. Before before I talk about Borat and do spoilers, I'm gonna sit and just talk about the movie and how good it is. It's a very, very funny movie, very unique. Definitely a good movie to watch in quarantine at the moment. Definitely a very, very, very funny spin-off. I think that it's an all around good good comedy. I wouldn't put it up there with good movie. I put it up with good comedy because it wasn't made with the knowledge of it being the best comedy ever made. I mean, not best comedy, best movie comedy ever made. It was made for being a really good comedy. And yeah, he did a really good job Sacha Baron Cohen. He did really good, and I'm keen to see what else he does with the character. It was really awesome. The movie's very funny. Yeah, check it out. We're gonna spoil spoilers right now. I'm gonna go on spoilers, not wait. Yeah. So the movie the movie starts off with him getting out of prison. They inject him with a whole bunch of stuff and go, we need to send you over to talk to the US president to send him a gift of a monkey. So they say, we need to give him this monkey. He goes, okay. And they go, we're not going to send you by plane. We're going to send you by boat. And you're going to have to go to all these different places like Australia, China, all these places around the world before you get to America. He's like, okay, that's fine. And he got injected and he goes there and he goes to all these places. And then he finally gets to America and he opens up the box and it's his daughter. His daughter's in the box. His daughter was very funny in this movie, but she accidentally killed the monkey. So he goes, we're going to give the daughter to this man. And they are trying to... The whole movie is them trying to make his daughter look beautiful. And then, he at one point, he's trying to get her to get, boob surgery. Really quite funny. It's still classic Borat in the fact that he's a misogynist, which... In some people's eyes isn't funny, but in my eyes it's hilarious because it's a complete satire on our society as a whole. Because if Borat was real and he was making movies where he was talking to people like that, he would be cancelled. And that's just such a funny idea of just this guy who has grown up in a community where that's how people talk to each other, and that's how that society would do things. That's how he knows people, and that's how he talks to people, and that's how women are treated, and it's really funny. Yeah, and it ends up being revealed at the end that stuff that they injected him with was COVID. Before I get to that, half the movie, probably about a quarter of the movie was filmed during lockdown. So Sacha Baron Cohen was with these two I think they weren't Democrats, Republicans, and they were chatting absolute nonsense for like 20 minutes of the movie, in lockdown. It was so funny, and it ends up being revealed that Borat caused COVID because that their country, Kazakhstan, injected him with the first case of COVID-19. And had him go to Australia, had him go to Europe, had him go to China and cough on all their stuff and spread this virus and get to America and spread the virus. And that's funny. I don't know about you, but that's funny. That's funny because that's a crazy thing. That's a crazy twist, especially for a movie that was made this year. That was a crazy twist. I love that. Check it out. Awesome movie. Let's move on. This bit of news, I'm gonna get close right now to the camera. This bit of news made me angry when I first saw this. Made me angry for a few weeks. It was the remaster of Spider-Man PS4. Was they remastered the face of Spider-Man and completely changed it. Just gonna change the aircon here. They changed his face. They completely changed what he looks like, and all that. I didn't like that because what they scanned to be able to create his face in the original game was the actual actor. They weren't changing the actor; they were just changing his face. I've grown to like the face now, but it's definitely more HD, more realistic. It's just still, I didn't like it. Yeah. I'm not going to go on a rant about that, but because I've gone on rants about everything else, but let's move on. Harley Quinn is in talks. Not Harley Quinn person, isn't it? I don't even think that's a real person. Harley Quinn animated feature film. Caught your attention. A Harley Quinn animated feature film. I'm keen for this. I'm keen for a Harley Quinn TV show. she is just a character that is just awesome. Like, you sit down, like, I watched the Harley Quinn TV series. Kaylee Kuaku, completely butchered her last name, Lake Bell, they absolutely killed it in that movie. So funny, so charming, absolutely brilliant. And now they're going to make an animated feature film. And that's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. Can't wait for that to come out. Really keen for that. If you haven't seen the TV show, definitely check out the TV show. It's really quite funny. Yeah. Let's move on to the next bit of news. So, House of Dragon. If you don't know what House of Dragon is, it is a Game of Thrones prequel series. I mean, I'm keen for anything Game of Thrones that they're gonna make, especially after that horrible season. Like, they need a win. They need a win. Yeah. It's gonna be about the Targaryens and their bloodline. And yeah, I'm definitely keen to see what they do with that. I think it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. We're just gonna move on. Kingpin. So, the actor who plays Kingpin, who is Vincent. I'm not even going to attempt to say that last name. I'm so sorry. But if you haven't seen Daredevil, like the Daredevil TV series, the guy who plays Kingpin, that he is top-notch casting. Absolutely top-notch. I mean, what are you doing if you're watching this podcast and you haven't watched Daredevil? Daredevil is an amazing TV show. It's the best Marvel TV show that they made. Period. It's the best Marvel TV show that they made. And they produced a character like Kingpin out of thin air. Like, well, not out of thin air, but, like, they butchered Kingpin in the original Daredevil movie. And it didn't seem likely that he was going to show up in any of the Spider-Man movies. And they, he is such a threat. Like, honestly, he's such a big threat to everyone in, the Marvel universe, that watching him in Daredevil and watching him do all that stuff didn't seem that crazy that he would be able to do that. I definitely want him to play. This is for Spider-Man 3, by the way. Lots of news for Spider-Man 3, so just wait. Yeah, I definitely would love to see him in it, even if he cameos from prison. That'd be awesome. Let's move on. Back to the boys. This is a bit of boys news. So Anthony Starr, he plays Homelander in the boys. He described his character in The Boys Season 3 as a homicidal maniac. Alright. A homicidal maniac. And if you've seen the show, you know he already is a homicidal maniac. So, let's see how they step it up from there. Dexter. Yeah, Dexter. Dexter is being revived at Showtime, on Showtime, coming in 2021. If you haven't seen Dexter and you haven't seen the finale of Dexter, it's terrible. It's terrible finale. Definitely a terrible movie. A terrible TV show. Well, terrible last season and terrible finale. But they're bringing it back so they can fix it. So I'm pretty happy about that. That's probably my 2 cents on that. So let's keep going. Got a lot of news to get through, and we've just passed the hour point. Well, have we passed the hour point? Maybe. We're close. Power Rangers movie to be connected to the TV universe. So the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, go! Power Rangers, go! The inner kid in me right now is just like, yes! The Power Rangers! Yeah, so the new movies that they're going to be making is going to be connected to the Power Rangers, like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I think that's awesome, but the Power Rangers just need to end, honestly. If I'm sitting here and I'm being honest with you, which I am, that series just needs to end, honestly. It's on its last legs. Like, it just needs to stop. Like, just please. Stop making Power Rangers spin-off stuff. You may make a lot of money, but you ruin everyone who watches it. Alright, let's move on. Fast and Furious will conclude in 2 films. This includes Fast and Furious 9. There's too many of them. Fast and Furious 9 that's supposed to be coming out next year. And, don't you just love technology? At the 20-minute mark, I have to continually go back and open up my computer. So, give me a second. G'day, how you going? And we're back. Yeah, they're going to conclude in 2 films. Before Vin Diesel was saying that Fast and Furious 10 will be in space. That's stupid. That's honestly stupid. Going into space to do that is just so stupid. But it's funny, it's stupid. Alright, let's move on. Zack Snyder teased for the Snyder Cut that we're going to get more information about Robin's death. Now, we saw in Batman vs. Superman, the Robin suit had, like, spray painted on it, like, haha, the joke's on you. And that was pretty much confirmed that Robin died. But we didn't know how or which Robin it was. Most people would immediately go to Jason Todd because he's the Robin that died. Other people would be like, no, it might be Tim Drake, might be, what's his face, Dick Grayson, or they might have thrown a curveball and it might be Damian Wayne. That would be insane if it's Damian Wayne. But yeah, I'm really keen to. I really hope they do that. Let's move on. Marvel Studios is searching for black writers for Blade. Again, this is another Black Lives Matter things that they have been doing. So I feel, and I'm gonna be honest, I feel that most companies at the moment, when the Black Lives Matter movement was really, really going off, they would just try and do everything just to make sure that they are not the bad guys. Like, as I said before, like Family Guy and all those other TV shows are like, we'll get rid of the white actors that are playing black people. We'll get them out. And Marvel's like, we're gonna get a whole black cast. We're gonna have a whole black cast. No white people. Nothing at all. I think that it's actually. I literally have no opinion on this. I just think that it's kind of discriminative. That's a word, isn't it? If you have a if let's say Johnny over here, like some guy named Johnny, I'm just gonna use an example. Johnny, who is a white man or an Asian man, and any other race that isn't black, he has spent time and he's written the most perfect Blade script. The most perfect Blade script, amazing, 10 out of 10 movie, Oscar worthy. And he brings it to Marvel, and Marvel go, this is great, but you're not black, so we're not going to let you in. Like, obviously that's not going to happen, but when I read that, that's the first instinct that comes to me. Like, it kind of seems, rather than it being like a real movement and a real movement in the right direction of black people in our society, it kind of makes it seem more like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, in the sense that we're moving past this whole racism thing and allowing women and black people and any person of any race to flourish, but we're not allowing people who are able to create projects like this to do that in society because of that. And I'm not going to say that it's wrong. I just don't think that it's right, if that makes sense. I think that everyone should be treated the same. Communism, no, not like in a communistic sort of way, but I think that everyone, like, as a Christian myself, you love yourself, you love your neighbors as you love yourself. If you love yourself, you love everyone, and you treat everyone the same. Like, I'm not gonna talk to my friends and then go to this random guy over here that I've never met before and go, could my friends be like, hey bro, how you going? And then go to this guy and be like, who are you? Like, who are you? Like, that's not how I treat people around me. And I feel like that's how society should be. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah, let's move on. Joe Manganiello. I'm terrible with last names. I'm so sorry. He, if you didn't know, played Flash Thompson in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie, the original, and he's gonna play Deathstroke. He was gonna play Deathstroke in the Batman movie. He showed up in the end of Justice League, the first one, the Joss Whedon one, and he's been confirmed as another person who's gonna come back for the Snyder Cut. So that's awesome. Keen for that. Yeah. Awesome. So, I'm just, so they are going to do a, I'm I'm scrolling through news and, on my phone, and I've just gone, actually, I've already said that. Sorry, yeah, let's go to this one. Batwoman Season 2. As I said before, when we were talking about the Supergirl thing, I didn't like Batwoman. Honestly, I hated it. I thought it was terrible. That's just my opinion. I didn't like it. I didn't like how the character was played. I didn't like the world I didn't like how you set up the world and the fact that she's gonna be Batman now, but she's a woman. It's kind of like well, we're really going on the big topics here today. If you've seen the movie Charlie's Angels, like 2019, with Naomi Starr, Elizabeth Banks. And there was a big outcry with it because Elizabeth Banks was like, the movie fell because men didn't want to see it. And it was like the whole thing was about men in it. Now, I'm going to say this in a non-biased way. And I watched like a video on YouTube where a guy was talking about this. It made a lot of sense. The movie was written and filmed in the way that everything that women can do everything but men can do nothing. Like, if you watch the movie and you have that in mind, it really makes sense. Like, the reason why the first Charlie's Angels movie, TV show and the movie was so popular and so good was because each one of the angels brought a different thing to the table. Like, I don't remember the names of them. I'm just going to go with the actress's name. Like, Drew Barrymore was the wild card. She was the crazy one. Well, not the crazy one, but she was the one who would, she's not an outcast, but she's the Joker in the Pack of 52. Like, she's that one card that will change everything. Then we have Cameron Diaz, who's sort of like the natural leader of the group. She's, not the smartest cookie, like when you see in some things, but she's very confident. She's very much very much a leader in the sense that they all the rest of them look up to her. Then you have Lucy Liu, who is the smart one. She, in every starting sequence of the Charlie's Angels movies, they show like bits and pieces of their life. And every single thing that Lucy Liu was in was something like, she was a chess champion, she was a spelling bee champion, and that's how they worked. They all had their own skill set, but they worked well together. This movie made it seem like that Kristen Stewart and the other girl, not Naomi Scott, can do everything. They can do everything, and they kind of don't actually need each other. Like, that's what it seemed like. It seemed like they don't need each other, and it didn't work. But the reason why I bring this up is because that's how the Batwoman show was kind of pitched around that Batman was killed, so Batwoman needs to come in and become Batwoman. I think that if you're going to create something like that, you need to be able to create at least an episode. Like, even if it was just one episode where it was Batman, and Batman fought this villain and he lost. He let Ruby Rose into his life, told her he was Batman, like Bruce Wayne told her he was Batman, and he went and then died. Like, if it was something like that, and then Ruby Rose takes over the Batman mantle, that's where that sort of line goes, yes, this is what we want. But the reason why I bring this up is because Ruby Rose left the role, and they've brought it up to a new actress. And there's not really much I can really say about that movie, that TV show, because I don't care. If I'm being honest, I don't care. Like, there's, when they're like, we've recast, I'm like, cool. Like, the only thing that you're doing is that you're ruining your reputation. You're ruining the reputation of the TV show when you've gone, we've recorded one season and our star has left, so we've recast. Like, that's just stupid. Let's move on. Zendaya arrives in Atlanta where they're filming Spider-Man 3. They are filming Spider-Man 3 in Atlanta at the moment. It's going to be sick. I'm so excited. Let's talk about that for a little bit. So, this movie, they haven't said anything about the movie, honestly, apart from the fact that it's filming. They haven't said anything about the movie. And there have been rumors because there have been people confirmed. Jamie Foxx is confirmed playing Electro again from The Amazing Spider-Man. It's not confirmed but rumored that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are coming back. The reason why they are rumored, and it's probably going to be true, is because they're in Atlanta at the moment. So that's kind of like, yeah. So it's going to be, most people think it's going to be a Spider-Verse movie. I think it's going to be a Spider-Verse movie. I'm definitely excited for that. Other people who are rumored is Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone, who played Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane. I think they need to bring in Bryce Dallas Howard, who also played not Emma Stone. Ooh, don't know what that was. That was a demon. Bryce Dallas Howard, who played Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3, as well as what's her name? She's from she was in Divergent. I forgot her name. She played the main person in Shailene Woodley, I think her name is Shailene Woodley. She was going to play Mary Jane in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man. They shot the scene and everything, and then they cut it out of the movie. Really sad, but I think they should bring her in just because. But they announced. Let me find it because I don't want to butcher his name as well. Jeez, I'm scrolling right now and realize I haven't even reached like halfway of my news yet, so we're probably at the halfway point right now. Where are you today? I cannot sing, but I keep trying. La-di-da-da-da. Can't find it. So it's actually the guy who played Dr. Octopus from from Spider-Man 2. He's coming back to play that character. That's exciting. You have no idea how excited I am for this movie because it's crazy. And there was an interview that Zendaya did on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, and Jimmy Kimmel was like, "Hey, did you have Thanksgiving with the cast?" And she's like, "Yeah, we had Thanksgiving with the cast." She goes, "Oh yeah, how many Spider-Men were there?" And she goes, "Oh, you almost got me there." And he just kept trying to make her slip up on and spoil stuff, but she was on point. Let's move on. Shang-Chi has finished filming. A lot of things with Shang-Chi was that it was plagued with a lot of COVID-19 positive tests in it, and they had to stop production multiple times. But they have a statistic here where they did over 40,000 COVID tests. This is after when they came back, and they didn't even have a single positive after that. Like, that's crazy. Good on them. As the sooner we can get rid of this virus, like a lot of people, especially in the United States. Sorry for the United States listening to that. I've noticed they've just gone, we're going to wait for a vaccine. We'll be fine. You won't be fine. Because even though they say we're close to a vaccine, chances are we're probably not. And that's just my 2 cents. Welcome to the 2 cents podcast, not the movie scoops. It's the 2 cents. I'm just going to adjust my seat a little bit. Let's move on. Patrick Wilson is set to direct the Insidious 5 movie, so that's exciting. He was in the first Insidious movie. He's also in the 2 Conjuring movies. They're making a Conjuring 3. Making his directorial debut in that movie. I think it's his directorial debut. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I'm definitely keen to see what he does with that, and I reckon he'll be good. I have no doubt about that. I reckon he'll be good. Let's move on. Warner Brothers are committed to their December 25th release day for Wonder Woman. And for me in Australia, it's going to be December 26th, which is what we call Boxing Day, which is like our Black Friday. That's when it's going to be released. And one thing that they've said about this, and we'll get back to it later, is that it's going to release on HBO Max and in cinemas on the same day. And so, yeah, that's a crazy thing that they're going to do. I'm really excited for that. This movie just needs to come out, honestly. It's been delayed too many times. It's going to turn into the New Mutant soon. Let's move on. James Gunn says that filming a Superman movie is a possibility. Like, he's always wanted to film a Superman movie. I think he'll be good. He'll be good. I'm trying to get through this news pretty fast now because my camera is saying we've been recording for 1 hour and 17 minutes, and like I haven't even reached halfway. So let's speed this up, boys and girls. Batman and The Witcher will continue filming in the UK. I'm not sure that this is still happening anymore, honestly, because the UK has pretty much gone into lockdown again. They've gone into lockdown, and I think they're still filming. I'm definitely keen to see what happens in that, but let's keep going. The TV show on Netflix, You, about a psycho who is an obsessive psycho who kills in the name of love, and then kills his love, and then finds another girl who's coincidentally named Love, who's also as crazy as he is. Spoilers, by the way. I'm so sorry. And he, they've started season 3. I'm definitely keen for that. Good show. Let's move on. Gerald Butler. Gerard Butler re-enlists in the 4th film of the Fallen franchise. If you don't know what the Fallen franchise is, there's 3 movies. There's Olympus Has Fallen, which is about the White House being invaded. There is London Has Fallen, which is about London being bombed or something. I don't know. It was a bad movie. Then they have what's the last one called? Something Has Fallen. And it's about the guy being pinned for an assassination attempt on the president. But the new one's going to be called Night Has Fallen. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that. But let's move on. Umbrella Academy. Umbrella Academy is a TV show on Netflix, a superhero TV show. Very good. Check it out. They released season 2 a few months ago, and very, very good TV show. Non-spoiler part right here. Very good TV show. Very funny. Very much a fun-loving teenage sort of TV show about superheroes. Like, it's no boys. It's no The Boys. So you can watch it with your family. Definitely watch it. Spoilers. It's about it's about the Umbrella Academy going back in time to they go to Dallas. So pretty much the way the comic books are based, because the best of comic book is that the first comic book series is about them stopping the Umbrella Academy, stopping the end of the world. And the second one is that the second comic book is that they actually didn't stop the end of the world. They still caused it, but they tried to go back in time to try and stop it again, but they actually made it go forward. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Definitely check it out. Let's move on. So Johnny Depp. Let's get into the Johnny Depp situation. No point in me being like, you don't know about the Johnny Depp situation. It's everywhere at the moment. So Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, Amber Heard, are in the middle of a court case. So Amber Heard accused Johnny Depp of violence on multiple occasions. And because of that, Johnny Depp has gotten fired from many jobs. However, there has been no evidence, like no big hard evidence of an assault, like no video footage, no photos, no witness testimony apart from Amber Heard. However, this is where it gets interesting. There is video footage and witness testimony and photos of Amber Heard. You know what time it is? Time to turn back on the computer because we've been recording for 1 hour and 20 minutes. There's been proof that she was the abusive one in the relationship, and she abused him, she hit him and whatnot, because of Johnny Depp was in another court case against a news agency, because they printed in on the front page and called him a wife beater, and he was in a court case that he lost, allowing them to use the word wife beater. So they fired him from a whole bunch of jobs, including the Fantastic Beasts franchise, and people were like, "Are you kidding me? Like, why is Amber Heard allowed to still be in shows like movies like Aquaman, but you can't keep Johnny Depp in these roles?" So yeah, that's how that's been going. I guess that kind of feeds into another bit of news that Amber Heard is coming back for Aquaman. A lot of people are really angry about that, but I guess, I can't, as I've said before, I didn't say before, but I'll say it now. What I've just stated to you guys is what I have read and what I have heard. I'm not friends with Johnny Depp. I'm not friends with Amber Heard. I have never met them or seen any of this stuff. I'm just going off of what I've read and heard. So pretty much I am, all I have is hearsay at the moment. But we'll never know until the actual court case is concluded. So let's move on. But before we move on, so pretty much Johnny Depp filmed one scene in the Fantastic Beasts movie. One scene. And then they fired him. But the thing is that they need to pay Johnny Depp the money that he earned for that movie, but because they had to buy out his contract. Let me just find how much it was. It was pretty big. It was a pretty big big sausage, if you know what I mean. It's a big load of money. It was all it says is 8-figure salary. So good on him. At least he's getting money. Let's move on. WandaVision was filmed in front of a live studio audience before COVID. But so WandaVision, it looks like it's going to be taking a few different inspirations from different sitcoms from different time periods. So like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, 90s. Like, there's the Brady Bunch, there's I Love Lucy, and all that sort of stuff, but they actually filmed in front of a live studio audience. I think that's cool, very much authentic, and makes that whole idea really good. Let's move on. So, George Lucas, we talked about him earlier when we talked about CGI. He came out and was like, this is the original idea for my trilogy. My prequel trilogy that didn't come to fruition. So Darth Maul was going to be the main villain and / the godfather of crime. Darth Maul and his apprentice Darth Talon would be the two main villains for the 3-movie series. That's awesome. As we now know, Maul became such a big character in the Clone Wars, as well as he showed up in Rogue One. No, not Rogue One. Solo, and he was sort of like a crime boss. And he showed up in Rebels, and he was the most underutilized character from the original trilogy, if I'm being honest. Most underutilized character. Maul is so awesome. And I definitely wish they gave him more play, if you understand. Gave him more time to shine. let's move on to the next bit of what George Lucas wanted to put into his original trilogy. The rebirth of the Jedi Order after Order 66. Luke rebuilt the Jedi Order with the 50 or 100 survivors from Order 66. I'm so sorry. This isn't the prequel trilogy. This is the sequel trilogy. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so the sequel trilogy, so like Force Awakens, all that. So Darth Maul would have been that. That would have been awesome. That would be awesome. The only thing is, Rebels killed off Darth Maul. Darth Maul after Order 66. So yeah, that would be awesome. Leia is the chosen one and not Luke. Leia would have been revealed to be the chosen one after becoming the Supreme Chancellor. Awesome. That would have been awesome. George Lucas sold all these ideas to Disney. Before the Disney deal, these were ideas had and been preparing for these films in 2012. Amazing stuff. Let's go. In one of the other podcasts, we talked about George R.R. Martin, who is the the writer of the Game of Thrones books. And he was saying, I remember saying in one of the podcasts, he like literally went into an interview and said, if my book doesn't come out in June, you can put me in prison. I'm going to show my phone. Not sure if you can see that, but it says, sorry, still not done. Good luck with prison life. Let's move on. WandaVision will be released on January the 15th. That is so close. I'm so excited. It's so awesome. I'm so keen. We've been wanting Marvel stuff for so long. It's like the last Marvel thing was over a year ago. That's crazy. Let's move on. We've already spoken about Constantine. Constantine is having a sequel with Keanu Reeves. It's in the works. I think this is stupid. I just went from being like, this is awesome, to being like, this is stupid. Although I'm going to be honest, it's stupid. There is a actor who already plays John Constantine. He played John Constantine in the TV show, and he's in Legends of Tomorrow. He plays him in all the animated movies. He is John Constantine in real life. I'm not sure what the actor's name is, but he is John Constantine. He is the character in real life, and he should be playing John Constantine in a movie if they're going to make it, not Keanu Reeves. I understand that he played the character first, but I don't care. I think that he should be in it. So, sorry for that little rant. Let's move on. Spider-Man Miles Morales. I haven't played the game yet, so I'm not going to spoil that for you because I haven't played it myself. I don't know what it is about. All I know is that they did a tribute to Stan Lee. They did a statue of him in the game because he actually played a character in the original game of the pizza owner. And yeah, he played Mick, the pizza owner. And apparently must have died between games. Well, obviously he died. Stan Lee died between games. But the character of Mick died between games, and they made a statue for him. Amazing stuff. You cannot do sorry. Yeah, you need to be able to tribute a guy like Stan Lee, because without him, we wouldn't have the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole. We wouldn't have. Well, we might have something close to that. We would be plagued with DC, honestly. But they also did a Chadwick Boseman honored message in the end of the game. I'm gonna read that out to you. It says, in loving memory of a noble king, Chadwick Boseman, his honor, strength, and compassion will reverberate for generations to come. Wakanda forever. Amazing guy. An inspiration to all. Can't say enough about the guy. Yeah. Let's move on. Zack Snyder promises that 2.5 hours of footage, unseen footage in Justice League. Well, I don't know why I wouldn't say 2.5 instead of 2.5, but whatever. Let's move on. There's not really much about it. New Steppenwolf. So I've got the picture right in front of me of the new Steppenwolf thing. He looks sick. He doesn't just look like a guy wearing a suit with a little horn armor on. He looks like the suit is molded to his body, and he looks like the suit looks like the Iron Man suit, like the nanotech Iron Man suit. That's like when it gets put onto Iron Man in Infinity War, how like it molds to his body, and they have like the little creases in the nanotech. That's what it looks like, because that's what the character of Steppenwolf is that his armor adapts to the situation. He's basically the Sentinels from Days of Future Past. Keen for that. Let's move on. Harley Quinn. Not Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie. the photo that they used in the news thing is of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Sorry about that. Margot Robbie is set to star in her own what's it called? Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Obviously that is a repercussion of Johnny Depp in the fact that he probably won't come back for another Pirates of the Caribbean movie, even though he led the franchise, which is sad. But it's good to see that they're moving forward. They've got a new up-and-coming actress in Margot Robbie. She's brilliant. Definitely keen to see what she does with it. Awesome. Robert Englund, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger from the Freddy Krueger movies. Nightmare on Elm Street movies, has been cast in Stranger Things Season 4. Awesome. Awesome. I love his character in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. He's amazing. I don't think he will be playing Freddy Krueger, but yeah, I'm keen to see him in that. This is a big bit of news. This is a big puppy. It's like a big puppy. Deadpool 3 is in the works. And it's going to be written by the people who do Bob's Burgers. Crazy. That's I've been looking forward to this movie series since Disney bought Fox, honestly. Yeah. Like, a lot of people, including myself included, have just been sitting down going like, Disney are going to ruin Deadpool. They are going to ruin Deadpool because of the fact that they're so child-friendly. And the only real thing that Marvel was associated with, where there were lots of stuff that is sort of Deadpool-ish, was The Punisher. And that was a Netflix property. And I can't see... I'm just going to move that over there. I can't see Disney... I couldn't see Disney before allowing this to continue. So, yeah, I'm definitely keen to see what they do with it. Hope it goes well. I just know that they need to cast Ryan Reynolds, because if they do, there's going to be outcry. Let's move on. Last of Us is going to get a series on HBO. Awesome! I'm keen for that. That's going to be awesome. They haven't cast anyone yet. They've only just announced that they are making it. So that should be awesome. I'm so keen for that. Let's move on to The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is the kind of show to me. This season kind of annoyed me, and I've gotten lots of people around me who have asked me about this show and what I think of this season, and they've gone to hate me because of what I've said about it. So be prepared for that. So I like, don't get me wrong, every episode that they have made in The Mandalorian is awesome. Awesome. Absolutely brilliant. The cinematography is amazing. The CGI is beautiful. The casting is perfect. The scripts are amazing. It just kind of seemed really fastened in the sand how the episodes were going to go. So the first episode was the longest episode yet, had probably the biggest reveal to that point where Boba Fett was alive. They had, forgot his name, but a tall, skinny guy from Santa Clarita Diet. I remember faces, not names. I'm so sorry. He would play this was kind of like announced a few months ago, but like it was a rumor, and it kind of to me felt like a bit of not a cop out, But it kind of I wasn't surprised when I saw it. But yeah, that episode was amazing. I loved that episode. But the way that the series went, it went from big episode with massive reveal to bottle episode. Then another big episode with massive reveal. Then another bottle episode. Then another big episode with a massive reveal, and then bottle episode. That's what it kind of seemed like, because I'll explain how that works. So, first episode, very big reveal, Boba Fett. Next episode, they were stuck in an ice cave with spiders. Nothing really happened. Nothing changed the story. Nothing of significance really happened. Episode 3. Lands on a planet, finds other Mandalorians, including famous Mandalorian Bo-Katan. Another bit of news about that, which is in my list here, but I'll get back to it. Sasha Banks, who played one of the Mandalorians in that episode, will not return to the Mandalorian. I thought she did very well, but yeah. And then the big reveal in that episode was Ahsoka Tano was alive. I watched that in my living room, and I was shook. And people heard me from like upstairs in my house. I was like, when I heard that, and they're like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. It was, I was so excited. And then the next episode was sort of a bottle episode. Anyway, it was more of a bottle episode is what is normally for TV shows that have run out of a budget. So they'll like keep something in one room. But a bottle episode has expanded to a show that keeps something in one location with one singular goal. That's what a bottle episode is for the Mandalorian, such as going to a planet in which you're stuck at and spiders come and kill you. That's in one location and one goal. This bottle episode was in one location, it was on the planet, don't know, and their goal was to destroy a base. That was it. That's a bottle episode. Then the next episode, Ahsoka Tano's there. Amazing. I love it. She's amazing. Rosamund, don't know her last name, did an amazing job in the role. We got to learn that Baby Yoda's name is Grogu. Amazing. Then the next episode was the Jedi Temple one. Again, one location with Boba Fett coming with one goal to protect the baby. They don't protect the baby. Moff Gideon takes them. Then this episode, the one that just came out recently, where they go, wasn't really, it kind of felt like a bottle episode. Yeah. I as I said before, I love the show. I love how they've created it. I think it's an amazing show. I just don't like the direction that they're going with it, honestly, because it kind of seems like it's definitely not a budget problem, because Disney are crazy. They make so much money that you pretty much have an unlimited budget, but not to go too crazy, especially for shows like The Mandalorian, which are crazy. It's cracking my neck. My neck stiffens up when I sit here for too long. Yeah. One of the things here is that there is a statue hidden in chapter 12 of The Mandalorian of IG-11 from the first season, played by Taika Waititi. So that's awesome. Let's move on. Okay. David Hemblin, who was the voice actor for Magneto for the X-Men animated TV series, has died. I just wanted to say a few words about that. He was in, like, the X-Men TV show was one of my first introductions to X-Men, and because I didn't watch the movies before anything else. I watched the TV show, and he was great. He was great. So I just want to say thank you for all your years of being that character, and may you rest in peace. Yeah, let's move on. Titans 3. They've announced two big things with Titans 3, which mostly costumes, is that Jason Todd, who plays Robin in the first two seasons, is now going to be Red Hood, so that's exciting. And Starfire will be getting a more comic book accurate costume. So that's awesome. I can't wait for that. Let's move on. Another thing with The Mandalorian is, I think it was chapter 12. where they drop off Grogu at a school and he eats macaroons. You can now buy those macaroons for $50 online. Disney, man. They're trying to make money everywhere. Those little scaps. Let's move on. So, Dave Chappelle, Netflix removed his comedy show off of their platform because Dave Chappelle went on a massive tirade of Netflix because they didn't pay him. They didn't pay him for that thing, so I'm kind of glad that they removed it off there for his sake. Yeah, let's move on. Going through that. Okay, Percy Jackson series is complete. Like the script is being completed, and it's been sent to Disney for approval. I'm pretty sure I spoke about this before, how they're planning on making it into a TV series. I think that that's a good idea. I think that well, I liked the first two movies. Like, that just might be my my childhood memory just coming back to me, being like, yeah, it was good. But I might go back and watch it and be like, nah, this is terrible. But yeah, I'm definitely keen to see what they do with it. Let's move on. So, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna pronounce this guy's name because I don't want to butcher it. But pretty much the guy who's the villain in Casino Royale, Mads, I'm just going to go with his first name, Mads. He is replacing Johnny Depp as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Awesome. Good. Let's move on. So now we're getting into the big part of the news. HBO Max. So HBO Max is owned by Warner Brothers. So the big thing with HBO Max was that they're releasing all of their Game of Thrones series on there, all their HBO series on there, as well as the Snyder Cut. But what they announced, because they announced earlier that they were going to put Wonder Woman 84 on HBO Max. Also, Titans and Harley Quinn are on HBO Max now. But their big announcement was that all their movies for 2021 will be coming out on both in cinemas and HBO Max. So this list includes, let me just read it out here, the Suicide Squad movie, Matrix 4, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, The Many Saints of Remark, Dune, Space Jam New Legacy, In the Heights, Tom and Jerry, and Judas and the Black Messiah. Fine. I think that's a good idea, even though a lot of directors, including Christopher Nolan, are pretty angry about that because there's a real cinema feel when you go to the cinema. Like, it's very different when you watch a movie at home than when you go to the cinema. It's very much a different feel. Like, it's a lot more exciting and might just, it's crazy. Like, it's just might be the experience of just paying for a movie and watching it that really changes your whole perspective on it. But I think this is a good idea. I think it's good for our society. It encourages people to stay home, especially during this time where the virus is still out and there's no vaccine yet. And what I'm going to go through the list and I'm just going to talk about them. So, Suicide Squad, already talked about that. Awesome, can't wait for that. Matrix 4. Keanu Reeves, man, he's on a roll. He revived his career from, pretty much dead. He was there was nothing for his career, a few years ago. Nothing. He hadn't created a good movie until the John Wick. Hey, guys, remember this every 20 minutes, And we're back! Yeah, can't wait for that. Godzilla vs. Kong. That's had so many delays. But, that franchise, man. That franchise kind of, went from having, the first movie in 2014, and then Kong Skull Island coming out in 2016, and then Godzilla King of the Monsters coming out in 2019. It kind of just went from, a one-off movie that was alright to being another movie that was pretty good to being another movie that was alright, and now they're making those two movies together. Yeah, I'm keen for it. Looks good. Let's move on. Mortal Kombat. I didn't even realize that they were gonna make this into a movie. Because I already did that a few times and it failed every single time. As you know, there is a curse when it comes to video game movies that most of them are terrible. The only exception being Sonic. And Sonic was only good because the character was comic book accurate. Oh, well, not comic book accurate, game accurate. We talk about comic books too much on this show. Let's move on. Dune. So, Dune is a comic book. I haven't read the comic book, I'll be honest, and it was a movie that was made in the 70s. The movie was terrible, but it looks really. I think it looks really good. It's gonna be pitched as a more like another Star Wars. I'm keen for that. I'm keen to see what they do with it. Starring Timothy Chalamet, has Jason Momoa, Oscar Isaac. I'm keen for it. I'm keen to see what they do. Space Jam: New Legacy, starring LeBron James, where he has to go save his son. All right. I'm not sure what I think about that movie. I think that if they are going to do another Space Jam, they should have brought back Michael Jordan and LeBron James, had the old and the new together in a movie. I think that would be fun. But let's move on. Tom and Jerry. I watched the trailer for that the other day. It kind of just seems like nostalgic goofiness of the Tom and Jerry franchise, just trying to revive itself. Not sure what to think about it. I think it would just be an alright movie. I don't think it will do very well critically or financially, because kids nowadays they don't care for Tom and Jerry. It's been an animated series for years. They're not very popular anymore. No kid is going to their parents and being like, let's go see Tom and Jerry. I want to go home so I can watch Tom and Jerry. I want to watch Tom try and kill Jerry and Jerry beat the crap out of Tom. Like, that's just what I want. You don't see that anymore. And, I don't see that movie doing well. Let's move on. Judas and the Black Messiah. So pretty much this is about the Black Panthers, not Black Panthers in Marvel. In the 1970s, I want to say 70s, there was a big group called the Black Panthers. They made a movie about this this year called the Trial 7 on Netflix about one of the members in that. So check that out. I don't know much about it. But I know enough to think that this will be a good movie. Let's move on. Florence Pugh has been added to the Hawkeye cast. TV show, I'll add. There's a lot of big things with the Hawkeye TV show. So they've started filming. They started filming the movie a few weeks ago. Haley Steinfeld is playing Kate Bishop with Jeremy Renner back as Hawkeye. So it's kind of the passing of the torch. And obviously the Black Widow movie will be the passing of the torch from Scarlett Johansson to Florence Pugh. So definitely keen for that. We'll come back to that because I've got other news before that. Live action Mulan is now on Disney Plus. So if you want to watch, you want to waste 2 hours of your life to watch a movie that's mostly worse than the original, but live action, go right ahead. Keen for that. So when Marvel got the rights for Daredevil back a few weeks ago, there's been an endless tirade of people being like, hashtag save Daredevil. I'm on board with that. I think that they should save Daredevil. I think he should be in the movie franchise. I think that Charlie Cox is brilliant in the TV show. I think he's brilliant in general, and I think that he should be in the movies. Let's move on. Emily Blunt went on to say in an interview that she has read the script for Edge of Tomorrow 2, and she said it's really promising and really cool. Not much else to say about that. And like the first one, probably won't see the second one. But the point of this show is to tell you the news and me to talk about it. So, yeah. as long as it's better than the original, as far as I'm concerned. Let's move on. So, let's go back to the Joe Manganiello, the guy who plays Daredevil. Not Daredevil, Deathstroke. He went into an interview recently and explained, 5 days ago, might I add, and was talking about the Ben Affleck solo Batman movie that he was going to make, which it might still happen if Ben Affleck decides to come back after the Snyder Cut. So he said it was a really dark story in which Deathstroke was like a shark or a horror movie villain that was dismantling Bruce's life from the inside out. That sounds awesome. that It sounds awesome hearing about a guy hear a guy talking about how he's going to dismantle someone's life. But it does. It sounds awesome. Sounds like a really, really awesome script that they're going to make. Oh, here we go. I have the amount of money that Johnny Depp got. $16 million for one scene. $16 million. Crazy. Chris Evans joins the star-studded cast for the movie Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up, I haven't read into it. All I know is the actors who are in it. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Timothy Chalamet, Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence, Kate Blanchett, Hamish Patel, Kid Cudi, and Ariana Grande. Crazy. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 starts production in late 2021. Awesome. Can't wait for that. Now we get to the next big bit of news. Investors Day. For those of you who have been living under a rock for the past 3 days, Investors Day is the big announcement day that they did at Disney, where they announced 45 new projects for the next 3 years. 45. 10 Marvel TV shows and movies. Well, not 10 movies, but that's in combined with the 10. So 10 movies and TV shows. 10 movies and TV shows for Star Wars. 10. Let's just get into it. Okay. So one of the things that they announced was Raya and the Last Dragon is a TV show made by Disney, will be on Disney Plus March the 5th. It's a movie. It is a animated feature film getting the Mulan treatment with its simultaneous premiere in theaters and Disney Plus premiere access. One of the TV shows that they announced for Disney/Pixar, because they're doing 10 Disney/Pixar TV series, I'm pretty sure, is Lightyear, based on Buzz Lightyear, and it'll be starring Chris Evans as the voice of Buzz Lightyear. Pretty much, Chris Evans confirmed it's not about the toy, it's about the character that the toy is based off. So it sounds awesome. Can't wait for that. They announced a release date for Black Panther 2. Nothing much else with it, so it'll come out July 8th, 2022. We'll come back to that one later. The Mandalorian Season 3 will drop Christmas 2021. I'm just going to scroll down to my list down here of all of the Disney stuff that they're making. So they are making Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale, if you don't know, they're the two squirrels from the in Disney, and they'll be played by Andy Samberg and John Mulaney. Perfect casting. Can't wait for that. Pinocchio will be starring Tom Hanks. I think Tom Hanks will be. They haven't announced who he's playing, but I think he will play Jiminy Cricket. And I think that's perfect casting. Peter Pan and Wendy. That's going to be in a movie as well. Jude Law will be playing Captain Hook. Terrific casting. Can't wait. Hocus Pocus 2. Can't wait for that. Cheaper by the Dozen. That's A Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Ice Age. The thing's so small you can't even read it. Adventures of Buck Wild. Three Men and a Baby starring Zac Efron. Disenchanted 2. Night in the Museum. Sister Act. Those are all the Disney movies that they're going to make. Now let's get into the Marvel stuff that they're releasing. Ironheart. They didn't announce much with Ironheart. They kind of announced the TV show names. Hawkeye, the Guardians of the Galaxy Chris Holiday Special. Oh my gosh, my throat is getting so sore. Armor Wars. I Am Groot will be a series of shorts with Groot. Secret Invasion. Moon Knight. Captain Marvel 2. She-Hulk. Thor Love and Thunder. And the Fantastic Four. I can't believe it. Here's some news about that. Doctor Strange 2 will connect directly to WandaVision and Spider-Man 3. Will be coming out the 25th of April, 2022. Christian Bale will be playing Gore the God Butcher in Thor Love and Thunder. Ant-Man... Oh, that's another one. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania doesn't have a release date, but Jonathan Majors will be playing Kang the Conqueror. Awesome. This is the big one. This is the big puppy that I have been excited for so long. Fantastic Four will be directed by John Watts. They didn't announce anyone who's been cast in it, but I'm so excited. You have no idea. I'm so excited. Captain Marvel 2 will be released the 11th of November 2022. And we'll have the actress who plays Miss Marvel in the Miss Marvel TV series when that comes out, as well as the older version of the little girl from the first Captain Marvel who will be in WandaVision. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be awesome. They showed a trailer of the Loki series, as well as a possible Black Widow sighting in the Soul Stone in that trailer. So that's awesome. They announced the girl who's starring in Miss Marvel. Look that up. I honestly don't want to try pronouncing another last name or a name. Samuel Jackson will return for Secret Invasion. So the TV series, that's awesome. Falcon and the Winter Soldier will drop March 19th. What If? I'm so excited for What If. I love What If. Let's move on. They've announced that Tatiana Maslany will be star as She-Hulk, with Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth returning to the roles as Abomination and Hulk. So excited. Don Cheadle will star in Armor Wars. Ironheart series will be starring someone who I don't know as Riri Williams. I'm sorry. I'm not smart enough to keep that in mind to tell you. So Kevin Feige hints that Daredevil will be in She-Hulk. He better be, as far as I'm concerned. Let's go into the Star Wars news. These are the stuff that they announced for Star Wars. Oh, sorry, that was a video. They announced an Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series with Hayden Christensen returning to the role as Darth Vader, and Ewan McGregor returning as Obi-Wan. Awesome, can't wait for that. Ahsoka TV series, Lando, the TV series, Andor, the TV series, Bad Batch will be an animated TV series, much like the Clone Wars. A droid story, Vision's TV series, Rangers of the New Republic, the I don't know how to pronounce that. The Artichoke, I'm just going to call it the Artichoke, Untitled Taika Waititi Star Wars film, and Rogue Squadrons will be directed by Kathleen Kennedy. Awesome, can't wait for that. No real opinion on any of that stuff. I'm just excited for that. Definitely check out the trailers for all of the Marvel movies that are for all of the Marvel stuff that they released. They released a trailer for what was it? Falcon the Winter Soldier, Loki, Miss Marvel, and WandaVision, and it looks awesome. Check it out. Check it out for yourself. Looks awesome. Let's move on. One thing that I forgot to mention before was the Uncharted movie starring Mark Wahlberg and what's his name? Tom Holland as Nathan Drake and Sully. There was a lot of outrage because there was photos on set and Mark Wahlberg didn't have a mustache because he wasn't playing Sully. But it's been revealed that he will be having a mustache, and it was just a scene where he didn't have a mustache on. Good, thank goodness for that. Marvel's Avengers the game has an estimated loss of $67 million. Serves you right for making a bad game. That's that's kind of mean of me to say that, but it's true. The game was pretty average at best. I didn't actually finish the game because I was just like, not too keen on that. But before we finish up today, I just want to go through the how the Star Wars TV shows will look on the timeline. So we're gonna start off with the first TV series, which is the one that I cannot pronounce. Probably because I haven't watched the video on it. I'm just gonna call it the A, and that will be based 200 years before Episode 1. So that's High Republic. Thank you, and we'll probably have Dark Plagueis the Wise in it. So that's awesome. The Bad Batch will be based after straight after the Clone Wars. Awesome. So will the Obi-Wan series will be based during Solo. That's what it says here. Andor will be placed just after Star Wars: A New Hope. That's what it says. Or will it? Yeah. Just after Star Wars: A New Hope. Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Rangers of the Republic will be based after Return of the Jedi. And that's it. Alright. I'm a bit tired after talking for probably 2 hours straight. Thank you guys for joining me for the podcast. I will try and do this a lot more. The next time I'll do this show will definitely be a holiday special, so that'll probably be next week. We'll be talking about not Disney movies, Christmas movies, including how terrible the Santa Claus trilogy actually is, as well as Home Alone. I've never actually watched a Home Alone 1. I've watched Home Alone 2, but I've never watched Home Alone 1. So, yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for joining me, and peace.